Hey there, my name's Jules Ford and I designed Galaxy Nail Salon, a fast flip and doodle game for 1 to 4 players. In this video, I'll explain how the game works and what makes it special. This game is a goofy flip and write. Each round, players decide what they want to doodle onto their alien client's hands. Everyone's competing for the title of Best Manicurist in the Galaxy. The game takes place over 18 rounds. Each round, players flip the top card of the manicure deck face up. Then, players choose one of the elements on the face-up card that has an arrow pointing to it and draw the element of their choosing on their manicure sheet. There are also 2 additional rounds players can choose to incorporate into their game with a bonus deck of cards called doodle cards. I'll explain these a bit later. There are 5 different kinds of elements on cards. There are nail tips, nail designs, rings, beads, and wild elements. Each of the elements works a bit differently and has different effects on scoring. There are striped, solid, and dotted nail tips, and there are star, comet, and alien nail designs. For nail tips and nail designs, you get points for having the same drawing on fingers that are next to each other. These matches are called adjacent matches, or you get points for having the same drawing on fingers that have the same number. These are called number matches. In the case on this sheet, fingers 2 and 3 on the left hand both have comets, so the player would get 1 point. Additionally, finger 2 on both hands has comets, so the player would get another point. You can also get points for entirely filling one or both hands. This means putting a nail tip and a nail design on every single finger on a hand. This is tough to do, so you get 6 points if you fill only one hand. It doesn't matter which hand you do. But if you filled both hands, instead of getting 6 points, you get 14 points. For the rings, each ring you have is worth 2 points apiece at the end of the game. Where you put them on the hands doesn't matter for scoring. You collect beads to make bracelets. There are 2 types of beads. There are round beads and there are rectangular beads. You complete a bracelet by drawing in the appropriate shaped beads on the alien's wrist from left to right. If you'd like, you're allowed to work on both bracelets at the same time. At the end of the game, each completed bracelet you have is worth 7 points. Wild elements are rare. If you pick a wild element, it allows you to draw whatever nail design, nail tip, or bead you'd like. For instance, if you select the wild bead element, you can choose between drawing a round or a rectangular bead on your alien, depending on whatever you'd prefer. There are also some special powers that players can use during the game. There are 2 kinds of powers. Use both the arrows and use the non-arrow. At any point during the game, players can fill in a circle next to the power they'd like to use and use it that round. Powers are free, but you only have 2 uses of each type, and you can't use them both at the same time. With the use the both arrows power, players can draw both of the elements that arrows are pointing to. With the use the non-arrow power, players can draw the element that doesn't have an arrow pointing to it. The game ends once the decks run out. Whoever has the most points wins. So that's how to play the standard version of Galaxy Nail Salon, but there are a few different ways you can spice it up. The first alternate way to play is by using doodle cards. This is a deck of silly prompts to make your drawing more interesting. During game setup, you shuffle and take 2 of the cards from the doodle card deck. Then you place the 2 doodle cards into midway points in the manicure deck. Whenever you see one come up, normal gameplay pauses and everyone can draw whatever the doodle card requests. Then, all players go around the table and show what they drew. Anyone who completes the doodle card's request will earn 1 point per doodle card. The rationale for doodle cards is that it gives players a chance to have fun with drawing for drawing's sake, and it increases player interaction. The bonus point that players earn for each doodle card is a small incentive, but the real treat is seeing what their friends and family draw. Instead of playing with the normal scoring system, the second variant on Galaxy Nail Salon is for folks to play without points. To do so, you can ignore, fold over, or cut off the scoring section at the bottom of your manicure sheet. This is a great way to turn this game into a coloring activity. The appeal of this is for folks who don't want to play competitively and want to focus on the drawing. The third and final variant is by playing cooperatively. Instead of seeing who can earn the most points, depending on the player count and the skill level, players can add their scores together at the end of the game to try to reach a certain goal. What makes Galaxy Nail Salon special? Well, I wanted a game to play with my friends that's feminine, fun, and relatable. By making it alien-themed, it's a goofy way to make giving a manicure approachable for everyone. Galaxy Nail Salon is easy to pick up, and it will work for young and older folks alike. And since there are a bunch of different ways to play, you can take it more or less seriously depending on how competitive you are. And regardless of what mode you're playing, people really enjoy coloring in the manicure sheet. The game is playable with a single writing utensil, so it's colorblind accessible, but if you want, you can use different colors to decorate your sheet to your heart's content. And finally, this is just one manicure sheet, but there's tons of potential with this game to have future versions with different shaped hands. Lots of folks have suggested tentacles, claws, and many other appendages. Alright, thanks so much for listening to my pitch. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Peace out!